how do you manage the finances in a couple where they're polar opposites on the way they approach money?
That's a fantastic question. I'm a neutral. I'm not taking one side versus the other. They're both my clients. And what I usually do is you want to get to the heart of it. In some cases, it's based on where they're coming from. So in some situations, if one party was raised really poor, and so it's hard for them to spend money because they do not want to return to what they experienced in childhood where they didn't have enough. So it's really important to them to save and have enough. And basically, they're always thinking about the rainy day. They're not thinking about the sunny days at all. And then the other spouse may have had a situation which wasn't as restricted growing up, or maybe they are just comfortable spending freely. And so a lot of times I boil it back down to, or bring it back to, what are your goals as a couple? What are you trying to accomplish now and in retirement? And I have sometimes been called affectionately Mean Michelle, because it's, if people in your family live into their 90s or 100, we've got to think about that in terms of your ability to spend for all that period of time, that your retirement is going to be longer than quite a few other people's. So we've got to always bring it back to the spending. The heart of a financial plan is the spending, because we're looking at, what are we solving for? When you no longer are bringing money in, how much will you need to maintain your lifestyle or be comfortable in retirement? And so if I bring it back to something neutral like that, which is, what do you want? What do you all want to accomplish? And where do you want to live? How do you want to live? And so on. Then it's, okay, how much can you afford to spend and still have that lifestyle? And I think even with individuals, I see situations where I have to say, as a fiduciary, hey, just want to let you know, if you keep spending at this level, you will run out of money. And so rather than me tell you what to cut, why don't you spend some time going through, looking through for subscriptions, for all kinds of things that you may not even realize you still have that you're paying money on, or things that just aren't as important. I've had quite a few clients over the years tell me that, Michelle, I don't shop the way I used to. I love to shop, but I'm not going to work. I'm not going to as many places where I need different outfits. And I have so many outfits from before, thankfully, in many cases, they can still fit into. And so why go buy more stuff? And there are conversations like that. I've had conversations with men and women who collect purses, where it's, this might be a really expensive collector's type of purse or whatnot. That's great. But let's look at, how many more do you need to add to your collection? And what's the impact if you have debts or you have other things? In some cases, the people it's hardest for are people who are high earners, because they typically feel like, oh, I have enough money to do this.
Yeah, I worked hard for this money and I'm going to enjoy it. Right.
Yeah. But even then, it bears looking at, okay, how much are you spending? And if you do accumulate debt, even when you're earning multiple six figures, then it says, just take a look. And even for myself, I remember years ago, I used to be like, this is years and years ago, where is our money going? Where is our money going? And then we started a spreadsheet. We no longer maintain that spreadsheet, but we started a spreadsheet, and we would make note of, I would make note of when we had big expenses like replacing windows or this and that. It really helped. We used that for years and years. It helped because it was one of those things where it's, okay, we're not wasting money, or yes, we could have done better last month or the last few months, etc. It really shone a spotlight on that. And you know what? It's something that we should probably go back to, because there are times I am the less frugal person in our relationship, believe it or not, because I believe that you need to plan for tomorrow and live for today. It needs to be a balance. Okay. I have no idea if I heard that somewhere, so I'm not trying to say that's original, but it is really true. After having lost a dear friend a couple years ago, I feel like we just do not know what's going to happen in the future. And what we want to do is have a balance. Don't live as
Absolutely.
if you're dying tomorrow, and don't spend, I should say, as if
Right.
you're dying tomorrow, but live as if you're dying tomorrow, because you want to make sure that you have those core experiences with the
Sure.
people you care about. And that's
Mm.
another thing I talk about. Everyone is different. Their value systems are different. It's not for me to tell them how to live their life.